is better for, for the father to employ the son and save a couple of $100 a week. But part of it, I think, is actually fear from the parents' side that their kids, if they're loose and if they're not giving additional burdens and responsibilities, that they would get lost in, in the society and, in the different ways that usually youth go. So I think one of the solutions is really to take this as a responsibility for the community organizations, and I think most importantly the mosques. I think the mosques need to play the most important role in addressing and in dealing with the youth situation, and also in reassuring the parents that we have alternatives and we have ways of safekeeping and protecting the youth so that it becomes the assurance they need. Thank you.
Now I think we'll move to the next session.
Our next session is chapter reports from both the California chapter and the Michigan chapter. We're going to have Hesham Hussain, who is the president of AAYSP for the California chapter, and Adel Mozip, who is the president for the AAYSP Michigan chapter. Please step up to the stage. And we'll have Hesham, as our guest start off. So welcome to Michigan.
I'm from the California chapter, as she said. I'm the president of the chapter. I've been a president for a few months. And I'm going to give you a report on what we have done and the future events that we're planning for. I'll give you an introduction about myself. I'm studying at San Jose State University. For those of you who do not know where San Jose State is, it's the Silicon Valley in California, in the Bay Area. And I will be receiving my master's degree in chemical engineering, inshallah, this December. And I also work as a graduate intern at Applied Materials, which is the world's biggest company in the semiconductor industry. This is what I'm going to be going over today. I'm going to start with the background of the chapter, how it started. I'm going to talk about the past events that we've done in the last year. I'm going to talk about the events that we have this year, and then current programs that we have, and then move into the future events. The California chapter was established in 2008 by 3 members, and I have to mention their name. Muhammad Al-Azdani, Ibrahim Ubaid, and Ahmed Al-Khalidi. They're very dedicated members, and they're still in the committee, but I mean, they're not in the board, but they are advisors to the board, and they're active members. They started their events in 2009. They started with having picnics to introduce AAYSP to the community and gain a ground in the community, and they were successful in doing so. Currently, we have 40 members, and we have about 15 very active members. And we were able to establish 3 Yemeni youth clubs in 3 high schools in Berkeley and Oakland. As I said, they started with community picnics. So the first, the way to attract people is to have free food. So they had 2 picnics, and they were very large picnics. They had at least 200, 300 people in those picnics, and they were very successful. They had a program. They had Masahiyya and Anashid, and talked about education, talked about their experience in colleges, and they were able to introduce AAYSP to the community. And then they held their first conference, a local conference in Berkeley, and it was a good turnout. A lot of people attended, almost 150 people attended in the area, and it was very successful. We had speakers like Ustad Shakir al-Ashwal and a few other members in California who are entrepreneurs. One of them is an entrepreneur, Abdul Qadir. We also had campus tours to University of California, Berkeley, and to San Francisco State University, and to some community colleges in the area. That was done in collaboration with the Arabic Culture Center in San Francisco. And we also held our first annual graduation ceremony, which was held in June of last year. And it was another successful event. We were able to award 40 graduates from high school and colleges, and that's the picture from the event. Some of the events that we've been having, small events that we've been having lately, is that whenever we have a hosting Dr. Nasser Zawiya and Dr. Adel Mozip. And we also met with Dr. Al-Bashiri, who's a surgeon in Saudi Arabia, and he came and he sat with us. That's in that picture right there to the right. And it was the networking opportunity between us and them to tell us how they did it and how they succeeded. Some of the recent events that we had, big event, we had a camping trip for 2 days. We went to Yosemite National Park. We took 36 high school and college students, and the main objective of this trip was to establish a network connection between high school students and college students, and develop a relationship between the members. And that's the group picture to the right in that day. It was snowy and it was cold, but we had a lot of fun. Some of the current programs that we have is we have a tutoring program in collaboration with the Arab Culture Center in San Francisco, where we have a lot of yummy students from middle school and high school. They attend this culture center, and we would take our members. They would go a few days a week, and they would sit with the members, with the students for a couple of hours, tutor them in any subjects they have a problem with. We also have a parents outreach program, and we're gonna work on it this summer. We have a problem in California. I think it's maybe bigger than here. Most of the parents own liquor stores or work in janitorial services or taxis, and they don't have any education. I think from what I've seen, we have a bigger problem as far as the community and the jobs that they do. So we have an objective of reaching out to the parents and to advise them and to tell them, to encourage them to take their kids to school. And we use ourselves as an example. I think the only reason that made me go to school is that my father did not have a business. So I couldn't find, my only option was to go to school. But now I know why there's other reasons that I can go and seek education. We also have a plan of having more high school clubs in San Francisco, since we don't have any right now. And we're going to be working on that soon, inshallah. And we also are going to have our first scholarships by one of the board members. We're going to be awarding 4 scholarships this summer, inshallah, to students who are in college or about to enter into college. The next big event that we have is going to be hosted next week on Sunday. It's the 2nd annual graduation ceremony, and we're expecting to have at least 50 graduates from all over California. I forgot to mention that we're located in the Bay Area, which includes San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, and San Jose. And well, the graduates that we award are from all over California. We're going to get graduates from San Diego, from Bakersfield, from Fresno, and from Sacramento. So we're trying to establish a connection between students that go to these colleges in these different areas. And I think we're going to have 2 PhD graduates, inshallah. We're trying to get them future events that we hope to accomplish in this year and in the beginning of next year. We want to have a back-to-school workshop, inshallah, sometime in August, to show them how to apply for colleges, how to get mentorship, how to apply for financial aid, how to get scholarship. We also plan on a picnic. That's part of the parents outreach that we're going to have this summer. So we're going to host another picnic. We're going to give them food again, and we're going to talk to the parents, inshallah, the mothers and the fathers, and tell them that they need to work harder and to get their kids to school. We're going to have more tutoring with the Arab Culture Center. We're going to try to visit more campuses. We're going to try to go to San Jose State, where I go. I'm going to try to bring them there. And then we want to have some local field trips, such as the Technology Museum in San Jose, which is a very popular museum. And we want to try to get funds from the community, which is very hard. Because when you tell them that, please donate, they just don't come to our events. So most of our events, we don't mention any donations. We have a donation box, and at the end, they have $1 or $2 after the event. And we give them food, we have entertainment. But that's really hard, so we're going to try to work on that a little bit. In the end, I'm going to give you a gift from the California chapter, which is a small video. It's not complete yet, but we'll show you what we have so far.
trips to college campuses and let them see what college life is like and how they can be in college. And this problem is not only the students' problem, but the parents themselves. Because what happens is the parents want their students to help them become financially stable, and they encourage their students or their children to work rather than go to school.
They think that there's no future for them after high school. They think, after high school, well, I'm gonna go back home and get married, or my dad has a liquor store, I'm gonna go work at the liquor store, or something like that.
There are two major obstacles that the Yemeni youth face. Number one is the environment that they live in, which is a very discouraging environment. The second problem or obstacle is the fact that they don't have a role model that they can follow or use as an example. Their parents, for example, most of their parents did not go to college or even high schools. Therefore, when a student goes to high school here, and after high school, they don't know what to do next.
Our community needs to understand that the best success is through education. And only through education are we able to better ourselves and rise up as a community here in America or anywhere else in the world. The best thing is to have college graduates, college alumni, people that have gone through college, had to work hard by themselves on their own, and go through those obstacles, to help them come back and talk to the youth, the college students, the high school students, the middle school students, and tell them, yes, I was where you were. Yes, I had to help my parents make their rent. Yes, I didn't have that much money, but I managed to make it. I'm successful now. Because we do have a lot of successful people in our community, but they need to be more vocal. So I think through that, and through that process of educating our youth about the obstacles and how to overcome the obstacles, we shall see a brighter future where one day we'll see more and more Yemenis become doctors and engineers and become successful. And it's a ripple effect. Once one Yemeni becomes successful, his friends are going to learn about it, his cousins, his community members are going to see how that's successful, and they're going to want to emulate, and we are in dire need of an organization that focuses on this, focuses on having children, students see college as an attainable goal, learn the steps to go to college, how to pay for college, difference between 2 and 4 year colleges, different majors, and also the mentorship and scholarship that they need.